Okay, say it again. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to our first YouTube video. I'm Antonio.
And I'm Kelsey.
And this is our baby, Luna.
So we're just going to do a little Q&A so you guys can get to know us. How old are we?
Well, I'm 21.
And I'm 22. I'll be 23 in August.
And I'll be 22 on April 18th.
And Luna is 2 months. Well, she's about to be 2 months. And her birthday's in December. Where do we live?
We live in Sneads Ferry, North Carolina.
Where are we from?
Well, like you see me, my dark skin, I'm Mexican, obviously.
And I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. How we met. So I'm going to let Tonio tell his own version, even though it's not the real version. And then I'll tell the real version.
Let me tell you guys, she used to work in a Mexican restaurant that my family owns. And I used to work in another restaurant that my family owns. She used to work there, and I just came every day to just try to get her number, you know, like every single guy. But I was nervous, never asked her out. She's the one that came up to me and decided to get my number or go out for the first time.
Oh, he was right. I worked in a restaurant called Camino, Real in Surf City. And he works at the restaurant Cancun in Sneads Ferry. And they're owned by his family. So when I first started working and he found out that I was working at Camino, he would come in on his break all the time. So he would come in all the time and he would just make like a random conversation. He would ask me like random questions or something. And one night he came in and he wasn't working. He came in, I think, to eat with Alice's family or something. Yeah. So he came to eat with one of his friends' family. And I had a party outside, so I had to take fajitas outside. And I made him help me take the fajitas outside. And then he came in again to actually, he was getting supplies for his restaurant, but he came in, not somebody else, it was him. So I finally just went up to him and I was just like, when are you gonna ask me out? Okay, our first date, he asked me just to go to the movies. We went to go see the new Blair Witch Project, which I really wanted to see that. So I was living in Jacksonville, North Carolina, and he was living in Wilmington, North Carolina. So I drove to Wilmington. My sister had a soccer tournament there, so it was easy anyways. So I drove to Wilmington, and then we met up. We went to the movies, and then he asked me to go eat, so we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. After that, we went to play pool, and then we went to Kickback Jack's.
To eat again.
Yeah. And then I drove home. And that was our first date.
Yep.
I didn't get home until like, what time? Like 2:30?
Yeah.
2:30. So we hung out literally like all night. How I got pregnant.
That's a crazy story right there.
Not really. When I was at work, I got really lightheaded. And this was the first time I started feeling like sick. So I got really lightheaded and I went to my manager and I was just like, I think I'm dehydrated. Every time I go in the kitchen, like I felt like I was gonna pass out. So we were actually living together by this time. We had our own place. So I got home and everybody wanted to go out that night, but I was still feeling crappy. So everybody from the restaurants, like both restaurants, we would always go out together, like his family and then like us and, you know, a couple of the workers. So we went out to this bar here in Sneads Ferry, which is right by his work. I didn't want to drink or anything just because I still wasn't feeling good, but I think I had 2 shots.
Yeah, Fireball.
Yeah, Fireball is my life. Well, it used to be my life. So I just had 2 because I was still feeling crappy, and then we got home, and the next morning, I threw up. And so I was just like, this is really weird, like, I'm not hungover, whatever. So I went to work, and I was still feeling really sick. And I felt sick for like 2 weeks. And I thought, my sister previously, like maybe a week before, she had a stomach bug. So I thought maybe I just got the stomach bug from her. And it was his birthday night. All his family, all his friends, like everybody was over. It was right after we had just got off of work. And I went straight to bed. Well, I stayed up to do cake, whatever. And I went straight to bed, but when I was telling everybody goodnight, everybody was like, are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? Are you pregnant? And I was like, no, there's no way, whatever.
But guess what? She was pregnant.
I was pregnant. So I was still sick for about another week. And everybody kept kept asking me if I was pregnant. Like, this girl I worked with, she said that I looked like I had gained a little bit of weight, which I thought it was just from all the Mexican food I was eating, because I would eat and snack all day at the restaurant. So I just thought I was gaining weight from that. So finally, I looked at Tonio one day when he was on break from work. I don't think I was working that day. So I just looked at him and I was like, I'm going to go get a test. So I went and I got a test, because I just wanted to shut everybody up, because everybody kept asking me if I was pregnant. We really didn't think I was pregnant. It never came to our mind at all. So I bought 3 different tests, and they all came back positive. And he was at work, so I called him.
She came out.
I called him,
Beautiful
and I was
baby.
just like, hey, I'm pregnant. So, yeah. And then we went to the doctor's the next day and made an appointment. And they confirmed it, and I sent all of my family a text.
That's how everybody found out, over text.
Yeah, I sent his mom a text. Yeah. And I was really scared to see my family's reaction, so I sent them the text, and then I turned my phone off. So I didn't get anybody's reaction. But everybody was happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's not really like the best
way to tell everybody, but
yeah, I wish I would have done it differently, but I didn't. How many more kids do we want?
Me, probably just 1 more, and a boy.
I want
to be like me.
2 or 3 more.
It just all depends. Yeah.
I don't think it all depends.
Or she wants them, but
we're gonna have more. What do you want to do career-wise?
Well, I always said my family owns restaurants, so that's my thing too. I'm into that, and hopefully one day I can get to own one. You know, that's what I'm planning on doing in my life. That's my career.
I always wanted to do something with makeup. That's what I'm going to be going to school for here soon. So, how did we name Luna? So, before we found out if she was a girl or a boy, I was looking up names, and I was thinking of names, and I was writing them down on my phone. And one day I woke up, and I think like every girl name I had wanted, Tonio didn't like, and I couldn't find a guy's name at all. And one day I just woke up and I thought of Luna, and I was like, that's gonna be her name, but she's a girl, like cut and dry. And then we found out she's a girl, so obviously Luna. And then his mom, we were eating dinner, I think it was dinner?
Yeah.
And she was like, Luna Camila. And I was like, yeah, that's her name. So.
Luna Camila.
That's her name.
Alvarado. That's
this
her
is
name.
my baby. She's in the middle of a nap, so she's like crazy Um, what do we dislike about each other?
Oh,
This is crazy. My biggest pet peeve with Tonyo is when if we're having a serious conversation or anything serious, he jokes around like all the time. If I'm trying to be serious, he's laughing at my face, or he's just joking, like not taking me serious, and that's my biggest pet peeve.
so what was the question again?
What do like our biggest pet peeve? What do we not like about each other?
What I don't like, what I didn't used to like about Kelsey, before she was pregnant, she would never clean our room. So that kind of made me mad. So now that we have the baby, it's a whole different story. Thank God. But yeah.
I'm always cleaning now.
Yeah, now she does all the time.
But also, when I was pregnant, I stayed sick the whole time. I couldn't work. I really didn't do anything. I would throw up water. Like anything I put down, I threw it up. So, how we knew we wanted to be together.
Okay, you start with that.
How I knew I wanted to be with Tonyo. So when we first started hanging out, even after our first date, we were just like really good friends. We just hung out as friends. Like we didn't really think that we were gonna be together. I think when I finally realized I wanted to be with him was he was always like so caring about how I felt, or like when we would go do something, like it was always, he wanted to make sure it was what I actually wanted to do, and we always just talked. He literally always makes me laugh, always. Like I was just always happy around him.
So how I found out that I really wanted to be with Kelsey and I was in love. Like she was saying, we used to be really good friends, you know? And I had to go on a trip, right? To Ohio to visit family over there. So I left for vacations for a week. And I missed her a lot up there, which I didn't think I was going to miss her because we were just good friends, you know? So then I come back, we just hung out for like 2 or 3 days, and then she had to go on
I went on a cruise.
For a week to Mexico, some stuff. That's when I really felt, I was like, damn, I miss her. Like, I was so used to being around her, you know? So I found out she was a one.
Because when we first, like our first date, even after that, we saw each other, or
Every
we
day.
hung out every single day. And one of my best friends, which I worked with, his name is Michael. He actually lived with me, and we hung out. Like Tonyo was at my apartment every night, like every day. We were always together.
Yeah.
And when I was on the cruise, I realized I missed him too. I didn't have Wi-Fi before I left, but then whenever I got on the cruise and I couldn't talk to him, I was like, I miss him, I need to talk to him. So I bought Wi-Fi just so I could talk to him. Last question is, who told each other I love you first?
I did.
He did.
I was in love, I'm not gonna lie. I did say I love you. And I meant it.
So yeah, that's all the questions we have. If you guys have more, we can do another question and answers in another video. So you guys are just gonna have me right now. I'm gonna close out the video for today. Tonyo had to leave. Luna is sleeping. She was getting a little cranky, so I had to put her down for her nap. So we are looking for somebody to do music for our intro. We have somebody videotape our intro. We just need music to add to it. So if you sing, do music, or anything, I'm going to leave our email below, and you can just email us and let us know what you got or whatever. We will have more videos, so stay tuned. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe.